In this video today, I will show you how you can create these cinematic black bars in Final Cut Pro for the iPad. And we can also animate them. I will show you this in the second step. So first of all, let's look at this one. Here's a different chart of different aspect ratios. And the most common used one is the 16:9. That's the standard. If my iPhone is shooting videos, that's in 16:9. If I go to my screen on my TV, that's 16:9. But when you actually go to a cinema, and you watch a Hollywood movie, you will realize that it's either this one, 1.85:1, or even Cinescope 2.35:1. So the whole video is bigger. And if you take this video, right, and you watch it now here on a normal 16:9 TV or monitor or phone, then you suddenly have these black bars. So why I'm saying this? The first method, how Hollywood is using is they are not adding these black bars on top of their footage. No, they actually create a timeline, a resolution, in that specific format. And then you don't have to add black bars. It's just the nature where you watch it. If you would have a TV that looks exactly like this or a beamer, then you wouldn't even see black bars. It's just a native resolution. So, and how would you change that? Very simple. When you come here to Final Cut Pro, and instead of using the default settings, you can come in here on your project, click on this and say here add. And then under add, instead of format automatic, you can change this here to custom. And now under custom, we see here the resolution. And we can change the resolution and even say a custom resolution. Now I can change the pixels for the width and also for the height. So if you know what resolution you want to use, you can change it here and start your project, your timeline with this. This is the first method, but I guess you are here because normally you make 16:9 videos, but maybe you have like a B-roll segment where you want to bring in these black bars like as an animation. That's what I will teach you now. So, okay, let's say we have a normal timeline, 16:9, and I have my video here. How can I make these black bars? We use the cropping feature. So I have my video in here. I select my video. So let's say, for example, here on that position, I select my video. I come into the inspector, and here on the second tab, you will find, if you scroll down here, crop tools. And if I click on crop tools, you will see this window here. I can crop from the top, I can crop from the left, right, and from the bottom. And how it works is it's by pixel. So my timeline that I have right now is 1920 by 1080. So the height is 1080 pixels. So if I go here from the top and I would actually type in 1080, that means I would now crop from the top 1080 pixels away. If I say yes, now you see it's just black. If I reduce this, let's say reset, if I only crop in like, let's say 50 pixels, boom, you see I have now a very small black bar here on the top. How can I now make these black bars? So let's say, for example, let's come back here to the sheet. How can we calculate this now? Let's say we want to make the black bars as long so that we get the resolution of 2.35:1. So I open the calculator. My timeline is in 1920. So I come in here 1920. And I divide this now by 2.35. That means we have now 817 pixels. So instead of 1080 for the height, our timeline should only have 817 pixels. So we can say 1080 minus the 817, which gives us roughly 263 pixels. That's the total amount we have to cut away from top and from the bottom. So we say here divide by 2, 131.5. So let's say 132. So I can come in here now into Final Cut Pro and I can type in here to the top 132, and we do the same here for the bottom, 132. So now we have the black bars here from the top and from the bottom. How can you animate this? Let's say you want it from the beginning of my video to here, I want to animate this. So the way you do this is here, you have to come here to animate, activate this one. Make sure your playhead is on the position where you want to finish, like when the black bars should be in. So let's say here on that position. So here I have to say crop from the top, and we create a keyframe for that position. And we do the same for crop bottom. We have to create a keyframe for that position too. We already changed the values, so for these positions it's already fine. So now we can bring in the playhead here to the beginning. So we are at the bottom point now. We add a keyframe, and for the bottom one, we say here back to 0. Okay, now we do the same for the top. So crop from the top, and we say here 0. So, and now if we hit play, you see that the black bars are coming in. That's it. You use the cropping feature to create these black bars If you want to have it permanent in your video, you actually change the timeline resolution. And this is how you can create these cinematic black bars inside of your video using Final Cut Pro here for the iPad. If you want to learn more about Final Cut Pro for the iPad, I actually created a masterclass from beginner to pro where I teach you all the most important stuff about Final Cut Pro on the iPad so that you can edit your videos and make amazing videos on the go with Final Cut Pro on the iPad. There's a link here in the description. Definitely check this one out. And if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, ding-a-ding in the bang bang gong. I'm Daniel, and on this channel it's all about DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut Pro for the iPad. So hit like, subscribe. I already said that. See you in the next video. Bye.